Welcome to Winning in the Workplace, session number 5. Today our topic is going to be how to identify if a job is actually right for you. Once again, this is session 5 in our worker level production mindset. How do I know when I'm looking at a handful of different jobs, how do I know if the job is right for me? Because if I'm not careful, I just need money. So I'm just going to go out and I'm going to put applications out every place. And the job that's right for me is the job that's saying yes to me. Does that make sense? But it's very common that we can get into that job, and even though we're very happy that we have a job, the honeymoon goes through really quickly, and before long I'm going, I don't know that I really like this. I don't like that person. I don't like the environment that I'm in every day. Wait a minute, they're not paying me enough. We can get to that place really quickly in a company where we don't fit. It's just not the right environment. The company's not wrong. You're not wrong. It's just a wrong fit. So we're going to be talking today about how to know ahead of time if you fit in your company. As always, we want to welcome the Gaetano's team here. It's good to have you guys. We got Jessica and Gianna, Michaela and Ruben. It's great to have you guys today. So we start off, have you guys by any chance, okay, I'd be really surprised. Have you ever heard of a guy named Simon Sinek before? Okay. We've got nothing here. I'm sure everybody on the camera, you're raising your hand. Oh, yes, Simon, I love him. But if you haven't heard of Simon, I want you right now to grab your phone, go ahead and Google Simon Sinek, okay? And just put the word Simon Sinek, why, W-H-Y. And you're going to get a video where he talks about it starts with the why. You guys, it is a powerful, powerful video. It's like 18 minutes long that you'll want to watch. But he has this quote here. He says, if you hire people just because they can do a job, they will work for your money. But if you hire people who believe in what you believe, then they will work for you with blood, sweat, and tears. So this is a key thing as we begin to consider the job that we are wanting to take. It needs to begin with, rather than just what is the job, the question is, what is the company all about? Is that fair enough? Does that make sense? I want to discover what the company is all about to see if I connect, if I align with it. In this previous session that we just talked about, we discussed core values, knowing the core values of your company. And we even did this thing of, hey, how did I do with the core values? Do I really like the core values? Do I know the core values? These core values, the very purpose of the company and the culture that they are trying to connect with, the culture that they are trying to create in their company, it's going to be very important for you to determine are those my core values? Is that the type of environment or the type of culture that I want to live in on a daily basis, depending upon how long you're going to be at work? So what I've done here is I've asked a couple questions on, let's see here. First of all, do you know the vision of your company? Why did the owner start your company? I tell you right now, if you want to be recognized, I want to encourage you, no matter what company you work in, begin to move toward introducing yourself to the owner of the company. It could be something like Gaetano's, where Doug is actually in the company all the time. Or it could be a very large organization where the owner is like in another building or maybe even in another state. But when you are now in the group, when you are now in the company, you now have a path to actually meet the owner. I was working with a person that I've been coaching that is in the working environment. We're doing this very thing, helping him move up the ladder. We have taken him from the worker mindset and we have got him now into the trainer mindset where he is now actually training people. And he's got these new people coming in, they're interns and coming in. I told him, if you want to blow their socks off, if you want to do something with these interns that nobody in any other company is doing, you want to take them directly to the owner or to the director of your company. This is a hospital here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so what he is set to do this week is to take this intern to the director of the hospital and introduce them. Well, how does he know the director? That was something I worked on with him at the worker level, was getting to know the head honcho, getting to know the person at the very top. And so now he has that relationship. So now the person that he is training, he has a way to go introduce. Now think about this too. If he ever wants to go to another company, if he ever wants to move someplace else, Do you think it would be helpful to have the director of the hospital to say, this guy is a good guy? Think that would be helpful for him? Yeah. It's not just my supervisor. It's not just a coworker. It's not just my pastor, although all of those are great references. But now what I'm doing is I'm getting a reference from the person at the top. So what you guys want to do at Gaetano's is get to know Doug. Get to know him. And when you move to the next level, you don't just want to say, hey, Doug, can I use you as a reference? I mean, you want Doug to be writing you a letter about how awesome you are. Okay? So when you go out and start looking for jobs, you can hand that thing out. My daughter, whom I've told you about, is graduating from college. She knocked it out of the park in college. She got the #1 spot, the Outstanding Achievement Award in her college. And it's one of the top colleges in the country for graphic design and for the arts down in Savannah. She was #1. So I'm telling her, oh, honey, you've got to go to your professors. You've got to go to the president of the college. You have to go to the dean of your department and get letters from them before you step out into the workplace. So what is she working on right now? Getting all of those letters. And it's wonderful because while she has been there, she has met, she has introduced, she has spent time with these people. So I want to encourage you guys to do that. So what we're going to do right here at the very beginning is we're going to take a moment to write down the core values of your company. But in each one of these lines, these are the core values, but then also this is the vision of my company. Do you know that? Again, a lot of people don't. If you don't, get to the website. Google it right now. Go to the website because it's probably there. If not, you want to talk to the owner or talk to your manager. Also, what is the mission? How is it going to be walked out? How is it going to be played out? And then finally, what is the culture at your company? What is the atmosphere, the environment that they are trying to produce there in your company? You want to be able to write each of these things down and know what they are. So as you're looking at a potential company to work for, I don't like this job anymore. I want to go somewhere else. They'll pay me more. I think I'll go over there. Now, before you go there, you want to take a look at the company. You want to be able to answer these 4 questions. Once you have answered those 4 questions, then what you want to do is ask yourself this question. Your very first step in determining if a job is right for you is to confirm, do these core values, does this vision, does this mission, does this culture align with me? Do I like these words? Do I like what they're doing there? Because if you don't like what they're doing there, I promise you, even though they are giving you a big paycheck, it's not going to take very long before you are uncomfortable there. It's not going to be very long before you're not satisfied and you're not fulfilled. And you'll even find at a certain level, it'll get to the point where you will be saying, they don't pay me enough to come in and do this hard work every day. You'll begin to gripe and complain. And even though you might have started at this trainer level or the manager level, when you start to gripe and complain, you start dropping down in these levels. And before long, Gianna, you're a sucking consumer. Griping, complaining, barely get out of bed, frustrated. Man, wonder what it's like over the fence. Bet the grass is greener over there, you know? And it disconnects us from our work. Chick-fil-A. You guys are all familiar with Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is a wonderful, wonderful company. Here's the core values. Here's what they feel is the most important thing at their company. To glorify God by being a faithful servant of all that is entrusted to us. Just that core value right there. Is that something that resonates with you? Is that something you go, I like that? If not, this company, even though it is a great company, and even though you're a great person, this company might not be the best fit for you. Let's turn the page and take a look at Southwest Airlines. I just got through flying Southwest Airlines over the weekend. I spent some time in California, and we flew Southwest. So here we go. Core values for Southwest. They have 2 primary ones, just 2. I love it. First one is to love. Okay, we can see here what they mean when they say love. It's a code word for treating individuals, employees, and customers with dignity and respect. Their second core value is fun. Hey, I like fun. This is cool. Entertaining behavior of employees in performing their job. Have you ever been on a Southwest Airlines flight where they're up there doing the seatbelt thing, but it's funny? Have you guys ever done that before? You ever seen that? Okay. These guys don't ever fly. They never fly. But you have probably been on one of these flights before where they're actually up there. They're doing it in a wrap. You know, they're doing all this as they do it. It's entertaining. It's fun. It's a great environment. These are core values. Are those core values core to you? Are those what are important to you? Then we have Tom's Shoes. Here's a great one. Are you guys familiar at all with Tom's Shoes? Catch this, okay? While traveling in Argentina in 2006, Tom's founder, Blake McCoskey, witnessed the hardship faced by children growing up without shoes. Wanting to help them, he created Tom's Shoes, a company that would match every pair of shoes purchased with a new pair of shoes for a child in need, one for one. Is that something that, I like that. Man, that's a company I want to work for. That's really something. Now again, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But if Tom's Shoes says, hey, I'm going to pay you a certain amount of money, and you go, yes, I want to get that amount of money, and you're over here and you start working and you don't agree, you don't align with their core values, then over time it's going to start being a drag. It's just not going to fit. It's not that you're wrong. It's not that the company is wrong. It's just a wrong fit. So the very first step, rather than thinking, Reuben, what job am I going to go get? The first step that you want to take is, what company do I want to work for? Okay? It's very important. I was actually having a conversation with a friend of mine named Lee Cockrell. He ran Disney World for 13 years. Okay? All the resorts and all the theme parks. Ran the sucker. All right? He had 400,000 employees under him. Guy knew a little bit about this. And I was talking to him one day about advice that he would have. He said, here's what I talk to. Here's what I tell people that are entering into the workforce. Find a reputable company. Find a company that has a name. Rather than working at Bob's coffee shop, go get a job at a place like Starbucks. Rather than working at Susie's department store, go get a job at a place like Target. A place that has a name in the marketplace. Does that make sense? Because what's going to happen is this position, this job, and this company is going to be a stepping stone to help you into your next job. Fair enough? You guys with me on that? Fantastic. So, do you like the words in these core values? Do these words connect with you? Do these environments and values connect and line up with the values that are inside of you? If they're not, then no matter what the job is, you won't find long-term fulfillment there. It all begins with aligning your why with the company why. Is that okay? That's just very important for us to consider. So here we go. Let's take a look at this next thing. So now, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how well do you feel like your core values connect with Gaetano's Pizzeria's core values? You guys that are watching, you can do it for your company. Your core values, the things that you hold to be very important to you. Do they align with your company? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself? And then from there, are you happy with that? Is that a number that you're happy with? Again, I get to talk with people all the time who would score themselves in this category at about a 5. I'm thinking that's probably not the best. You're probably not real fulfilled at work. You know? You go to work because you need the paycheck, but when you go to work, you're not feeling like you are fulfilling any kind of a purpose. Can you relate to that? I'm going to work every day. I'm getting a paycheck, which I'm very grateful for. Man, I think it should be bigger, but I'm sure grateful for what I'm getting, but I don't feel fulfilled. Chances are pretty good it could just be a wrong fit that we have here. Do you align? This is the greatest mistake that so many people make when they are looking for a job and accepting a job in a company. This is very likely the key ingredient in the fact that 78%, again, we've talked about this, almost 8 out of 10 people in the American workforce are disengaged at work. They go to work, but they have no connection to what they are actually doing. They have no connection to what the company is actually trying to accomplish. And catch this, man, I love this one, okay? 47% of the American workforce hates. Everybody say hates. Hates. Okay, let's try that again. Say hates. 47% of the American workforce hates their job. That is almost half of the American workforce that hates their job. You guys, we have a disconnect. It's not that the people are bad. It's not that the company is bad. It's that it is a wrong fit. The right job isn't just the job that will give you money that you want.